Hi, everyone. Good to see you. A funny thing happened on the way to Facebook today. I had a woman who's been very successful on the program give me a call. She's going on vacation in a car. In fact, it's going to be a caravan. And she said, I'm really upset and fearful. And I said, how come? You're going to be with family. And she said, everybody on the family are barbecue people. And what am I going to do? The title of today's Facebook is Self-Love Selfish? We need to focus on ourselves. And the question I always ask is, how can I be selfish if I don't have a self? We've been talking about self-love. We've been talking about empowerment. And I have been finding more and more when people truly interact, when we talk to each other, when we listen to each other, when we learn from each other, we find out things about ourselves that we never knew before. I saw a man today who's lost a tremendous amount of weight. And this week he came in and he gained 4 pounds. And I said, hey, what's up? He said, we had people over the house. And I told them that I was on the program and I was doing well and everything positive that it's happened to me. And they kind of ganged up on me and said, how can you sit there having a salad when all of us are eating and making us feel guilty because we're eating and you're not? And they were there for 3 days because they were guests in my house. And I put on 4 pounds. Can anyone tell me why I have to apologize for taking care of myself and being on a diet? Can anyone tell me that when I'm overweight, you can't tell? And can anyone of you who knows that I'm overweight and know that I'm overweight, can you tell me why it is that you make me feel guilty because I want to be good to myself? It's time that we stopped all of this nonsense. If I love you, then I care about you and I should treat you with love. If I have psychological problems and I don't treat you with love, responsibility to say to me, hey, what you're doing doesn't feel good. And I wish you would stop doing what you're doing because it doesn't feel good and it hurts. We make excuses all the time for other people. Why? All of us want to be loved, want to be respected, want to be accepted. All of us want to be part of, we want to belong. And in the process of that over a lifetime, if we don't understand that all of us are worthy, All of us are lovable, but that we get caught up in things as we are growing up. Some of them are intentional, others are happenstance. There are some people who do not know how to love. There are some people who are tough love people, and they treat you in the manner of tough love, and from their point of view, they're treating you with love. The fact that it hurts, the fact that it's painful, the fact that it may not work, for them to accept that would be to accept the fact that they're doing what they're doing to meet their needs. And they're translating it into saying, I'm meeting your needs. So let's start out this way. I spend most of my life with me. There are days that I don't like me. And on the days that I don't like me, I have negative feelings. Sometimes I even get depressed. Why? Because I can't shake me. I'm stuck with me. I get up in the morning with me. I go to sleep at night with me. And if I don't like the me that I'm with, then I've got a problem. I woke up one morning a very, very long time ago and realized that one of the biggest problems that I personally had was that I wasn't perfect. I really have some issues. I have doubts. I have fears. Remember, I was a severely learning disabled dyslexic child, and that in itself impacted on me in my life. They said, and it was a word that was used, I was a dummy. Now, isn't that interesting that Pinocchio was also a dummy? And he was totally under the control of Geppetto until he became free. And what freed him? He began to believe in himself. All of us are here because weight is a personal issue. Food is comfort. Food is a personal issue. And most of us, until we face it head on, believe that self-love is selfish. Those people who were in the house and egged him on, and so that he broke down and he cheated. One of the things that I pointed out to him was he did it because of the pressure that he was under. He never, ever stopped to think that the only person he cheated on was himself. Now, I gave him some advice. And this is just a piece over here. I don't want to interconnect it with other things, but I want to give you some advice. If you are overweight, it's not a secret. If you are on a weight loss program, on a diet, you have every right to be on a diet. If you want to treat yourself with love, and it feels good to treat yourself with love, do it. The problem is that other people don't want to hear what it is that you have to say. And not because they don't care about you. It's because it upsets their box that they live in. I tell the guy who was talking to me today that what I wanted him to do was go back and learn to say yes. I think you're foolish. I think you're nuts to do this program. I think you're going to get sick. How could you do something like this? I don't care what they say. Nobody can live on the amount of food that you're taking in. It's not something you should be doing. I said, how does that feel? He says, that's the things that I get. And I said, how does it feel? And he said, I felt alone. I felt betrayed. I felt unwelcome. I felt unloved. And I said to him, listen to me. You can't control the feelings. You can only control how you react to those feelings. So here's what I recommend. First things first. All of that criticism comes out, and I want you to lean forward, and I want you to say, thank you. Yep. I want you to say, thank you. And why do I want you to say thank you? Because the moment I say thank you, I've neutralized you. I want you to say thank you because I also want you to say, it makes me feel really good that you care enough about me to share your concerns. It's not everyone who would take the time and energy to tell me all the things that you're saying without caring about me. That neutralizes them because you've said thank you and you haven't put up your defensive nature. And because you have not put up your defensive nature, they have no place to go. And if they continue to say, but you didn't hear me, and repeat themselves, you once again say, as I said, you have no idea how good you make me feel sharing with me your concerns. Everybody is right. I have an opinion. I'm right. You have an opinion. If it doesn't coincide with my opinion, and depending upon who I am, you're wrong. And the moment I'm wrong and you're right, or I'm right and you're wrong, we're lost. There's no place to go. I have every right to want to lose weight. It makes me feel good. It's better for me in so many ways. There are no secrets. Caring, self-love are self-empowering. And those are the kinds of things that we have to do. And when we do them, it changes everything. Tell me, here is a country club, and you get invited. But your personality is such that you join the country club because of the amenities, but you also find out that you have to participate in different events. And those events are not necessarily those that feel good for you. But you want to use the golf course, you want to use the tennis court, whatever it is. And you have to spend X amount of dollars on food, on other kinds of things. Now, here is the question. Do you join because your ego says, I belong? Or do you say, thank you? It makes me feel good that you've asked me to join. And it's something I need to consider. If I need you to make me feel good, what is it about me that I don't feel good? By the way, I found out something interesting about the area in which I live. And this totally blew me away. There are developments around here that have names. And those names carry with them reputations. And some of the social gatherings that I've been invited to, because I'm new here, are in this area, and I learned that people ask you, where do you live? What is your zip code? And based upon where you live is determining whether you belong or not. When do we accept the fact that AccuWeight is a stepping stone to becoming someone who loves themselves, who feels good about themselves, and because the level of how they feel about themselves and the level of goodness about themselves draws other people. One of the things that I've learned, especially at social events, people like to rub elbows with people who are self-confident and are drawn to them. It's as though people think if I rub elbows with these people, some of it's going to rub off on me. And if you think it's going to rub off on you, what are you saying? You're saying that they have something that you could have, but don't have, and only because of the fact that they're the center of attention. Self-love and empowerment are choices. Feeling good about yourself is a choice. Letting people know that you like the you that you are is critical. Remember what I told you last week about the guy who over 300 pounds lost all of that weight and then said to me, Dr. Schwartz, the only thing that's changed is I've lost a tremendous amount of weight. And in the process of losing this tremendous amount of weight, I started to really feel happy about being me. And the outcome of that is this well over 300 invisible person, which is who I used to be, suddenly became visible. People wanted to talk to me. People wanted to share with me. People wanted to ask me questions and see if I knew the answers. And my life changed because I started to like the who that I am. I'm going to cut this for today, and I'm going to move on to questions. I've asked many of you to start asking questions, to start interacting, to start talking, to find a way for us to interact while we're live online. Because in our interaction, we all grow and learn. I don't have to agree with you, but what I really need to do is know whether disagreeing with you is because it's not something that I'm comfortable with, or because of the fact that disagreeing with you is a safety measure for me. Questions? And pardon me, I'm going to put on my glasses because I actually read much better when I can see. I really want to do Acuvate, but I'm allergic to dairy, nuts, and seeds. That means I can't use milk, almonds, hemp milk. I'm not a fan of soy milk, but will use it if I have to. Are there any other options? Wow. The answer, and that's the beauty of Acuvate loss. There are a huge number of options. We can deal with the vegetarians. We can deal with the vegans, and we can deal with everyone else. The answer to the question, and by the way, just from a functional point of view, I personally have always had issues, especially with regard to soy and women, because the phytoestrogens in soy concern me. The answer to the question is Ripple milk and its cousins. Ripple milk is a vegan option. It needs a tiny little bit of tweaking. It serves the purpose of the program 100%. You lose nothing by using it as an option, and you don't have to worry about being different from anyone else, because you're going to lose 15 pounds, up to 15 pounds every 30 days. Next question. Is bone broth allowed? Bone broth is not allowed. Now, I did not say bone broth is not healthy. On Acuvate loss, you cannot use bone broth because it is not chemically favorable to the program. Therefore, when you're done with the program, if you want to use it, and many people do, and it is healthy, It's just not for us. How do I use the AcuPoint Finder? One of the wonderful things about my daughter is that she does videos. If you go to AccuWeight.com/training, there is a podcast there by my daughter explaining everything, and she does a job much better than I personally would do. I'm doing the program remotely. Do I have to calculate my points, or can someone do them for me? Doing the program remotely has different options. The biggest issue of doing the program remotely is simply that you will be responsible for having the beads put on. Nothing else is lost. The consultations are there, the recipes are there, the answers to questions are there. And once you learn how to put on the beads, you can use the computer to calculate, because remember, everything is based upon the original algorithm. So you can get the computer to choose the new AcuPoint, or you can have it done together personally over the phone, or sorry, we got lost for a moment, and I'm back again. And now that I can see myself, I have beads left from a previous time doing AccuWeight. I asked at online chat, and they said I don't have any points left, that I used them all. I want to get restarted. Why can't I use the beads I have? Number one, you do not pay for beads. Number two, we always send additional beads to those people who are doing the program remotely. You might lose one might find it fall off, you might want to do an extra week. And so we send extra beads, because this way you don't have to ask for them. You pay for the acupressure point. Beads are not the issue. This person had paid for X number of weeks, had used those number of weeks, had beads left over, and thought mistakenly that they had paid for the point. Now you know the answer. How much chocolate can I have? By the way, it's not 2 tablespoons of cocoa, not chocolate. Can I have olive oil? The material said online, and one thing, and I heard another thing. The reason we say no is when people believe that they can use olive oil, they're going to get into frying things and using olive oil in a manner that will disrupt the chemistry of the program. You can use 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a day, will not be a problem. The difficulty is, will you be the problem? Now that I've given you the tip of my finger, are you going to take the rest of my hand? The biggest problem for most of us is self-control. All of us have the right to want. All of us are not going to get everything that we want. Some things are easier for some people than others. The one thing you can be certain of, and I see this on a daily basis, the excitement on the part of people whose lives have changed both physically and mentally because of their success. All of us can get into that boat. It'll accommodate all of us. What we have to learn to do first is to accept the fact that the more we like being who we are, the more we learn to act and behave in a manner that makes us happy to be who we are. The more we do that, the more our lives will change and improve. I want you to interact with me. I want you to ask me questions. I want you to be successful. And why do I do that? You have no idea, after all these years, how good it is to get, for example, the phone call that I got today. A woman who's on the program for just 3 weeks. She's lost almost 20 pounds. And she said to me, Dr. Schwartz, I was so incredibly skeptical, but the person who referred me said that you always tell it the way it is. And I believed them. And it's not until now, 3 weeks after beginning the program, that I believe you. My results are mind-blowing. And I'm texting you from the doctor's office because I'm having blood drawn. And the reason I'm having blood drawn is my resting heart rate has gone from over 100 to 60. And one of the things my cardiologist told me years ago was that resting heart rate tells us a lot about our level of health. Well, my resting heart rate has dropped dramatically. And now I want to see what else has improved. Thank you for listening. Thank you in advance for your questions. Hopefully you'll give me some ideas. Stay well.